Blessed be y'all, this is Jen Fremont. I got kind of chased out of the park by the bugs over there. The chiggers were just covering the table and crawling all over my camera and everything else. So I'm sitting in my truck now. I hope I didn't bring too many of them back with me. But anyway, this video is about science. And what I have learned from researching. What we call science today is pretty much theory. There are very few things that can be definitively proven. And one of the interesting ones, if you watch the drug ads on TV, and I didn't catch this until a few years ago, and then through my research I found this to be true. Especially the antidepressant ads will say it is thought that this is caused from a chemical imbalance. And from my research, yes, that is purely a theory. There has never been a definitive study that said that is true. Many things are said so many times that people believe they're true. Even through the 1700s, they were still teaching that the Earth was the center of the universe. And they had mathematical proof to back that up. And, now we know, because, we've sent spacecraft and things like that out that shows that no, it's not. And another one that still goes around is that may or I don't know if this is true or not, but something that I found that made a whole lot more sense came along, and that is that the precession of the zodiac is caused by a wobble in the Earth's axis. And of course there's mathematical stuff to back that up too. But there is also a motion that is a north-south motion in the plane of the galaxy, which is not really taken into account. And there is some evidence, and some of the ancient peoples talk about that our sun is a binary sun, and that it is on a very, very long elliptical orbit. And you'll see through history that the calculations of how long the precession is with different civilizations and things like that, they will come up with different numbers, and this has always been ascribed to, well, they did not have the most accurate measuring devices and so forth. But if you do take into consideration that our sun is a binary sun, and it moves north and south in the plane of the galaxy, it makes sense that there would be different durations calculated at different times, because this orbit would not be the velocity would not be the same at all points in the orbit, and that can account for discrepancies in these different times. It also accounts for, why, they talk about crossing the center of the galactic plane, or the dark zone, or Milky Way, or things like that. The different terms are used at different times. And I have found that there's many things that people have discovered, especially in the field of energy, for an example. And those folks, if they try to market it, are either A, they're bought out, B, they're threatened, and if they persist too much, they're just killed. And some of the great examples of that are well known would be Tesla. Another one would be Royal Rife, whose microscope technology it's still referred to as Rife type microscopes. There are such things as Rife type microscopes, and he was able to watch bacteria and viruses actually doing what they do in real time, photographing them, still photographs, and also motion picture photographs of what they were actually doing. And this competed with the electron microscope. And the people that had the electron microscope, of course, when they prepared their samples, they killed everything that was on those samples by the way that they prepared the slide. And then they would say, well, there's nothing there. Of course there's nothing there, because you have set up the test in a manner that will show nothing. And that's what I've found, that most things are proven by setting up the test in a certain way so it can be proved. And it takes some careful reading to see between the lines of how it's actually done. But just because something has been studied and supposedly proven does not make it true, because you have to look at how that test was set up, and what was the criteria for proving it. That's where a lot of things break down, and a lot of times they will take something that's been set up so that they can prove a certain point, and then they say, okay, this is proof, now let's go with it, let's do XYZ whatever with this information, and eventually it becomes dogma, and anybody who challenges that, they get stepped on. Because it doesn't fit into the paradigm, or if anybody questions how the original things were proven, they get stepped on. It's not a matter of actually looking at the how things are done with an open mind. It is how people are trained in the Western world. And we think that because things are proven or they're written in a book or something like that, it makes them true. That's what people thought about the Earth being the center of the universe for, a couple of thousand years at least. And that was the orthodoxy. People were burned at the stake. People were killed for even questioning that. And that still happens today. They may not burn people at the stake, but they will marginalize them so that they cannot get a job, they cannot support themselves. They cannot get any funding for anything that they want to do because it is outside of the paradigm. or it threatens the paradigm. And I have a friend that in his life, from time to time, he has been homeless and out on the street. And he talks about many people that he has met on the street there that, at one time they had a nice job and a house and all that sort of stuff. And a lot of them got into something that challenged the paradigm. And they were marginalized to the point where, they were out on the street. And most of them, they turned to drugs and their life is ruined. Eventually they don't want to give up the drugs and try to do anything, and if they did, they probably could not get a job anyway, even though they have degrees, they have skills, that sort of thing. We think that doesn't happen. We think that street people are just mentally ill people that ended up there because of drugs and alcohol and stuff like that. That is not always the case. Many of them were marginalized to the point where they had no place else to go, just because of the fact that they went against some system, some theory, something like that. These are some things to think about. I would encourage you to do your own research. Read about some of these people. Royal Rife, Tesla. Another one is Schoberger. He did a lot of things with water. And see for yourself how they were treated and what happened to them just because they discovered something that went against interests that were already established or were trying to be established. This is Jen Freemind. Blessed be y'all.